that'll be hard to be replicated, I think, at least in my lifetime, if ever. And, I know you all made the effort to be here, so I'd like to do whatever we can talking about Bill and the time he spent here. The future, I know there'll be a lot of questions about the future, and we'll have a chance to cover that in the next few days, but I'm not sure today is the time to do it.
So we'll do a post-game press conference style. Raise your hand. We'll try to pass a mic to you. We'll start with Mike Reese.
Robert, in speaking about Bill, you referenced him as the greatest of all time. And you said that's part of what made this such a hard decision, but that you both felt it was the best decision. Why did you feel it was the right decision?
Well, the last 3 years have been pretty tough. And I know for our dedicated fans and myself, and, in life, I just learned things happen, and our family is the custodian of this asset, the New England Patriots, and we know how important it is to the psyche of the community, and what's gone on here the last 3-4 years isn't what we want. So we have a responsibility to do what we can to fix it to the best of our ability.
Robert, there's been a narrative out there for years that people say it was all Tom Brady, when it comes to what happened on the field with this football team. How much, in your eyes, was it Tom Brady and Bill Belichick when it comes to everything that's been accomplished over the last 24 seasons?
It's not the first time I've heard that question, but why I love the NFL and why I think it's great for young people to play it, it's a great lesson in life, because I don't think there's anything else, any other sport or any other experience that's as much team-based and collective-based as football. And I don't think either one of those two would have accomplished what they accomplished if they weren't together. And it's, I think they were both the best at their professions. And, we were lucky to have them together for 2 decades.
Robert, Bill mentioned earlier this week that he is under contract, or he was under contract for next season. Did you give any consideration to trading him, try to recoup some compensation for him?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I'm fortunate in our family. Our businesses are all private, and so we try to create a culture and develop an environment where people want to stay and stay long term. And yeah, I guess if you look at this as a transaction, he is so valuable, and how we could extract something. I didn't think that was right. I didn't think it was right for Tom Brady, who gave us 20 years, and I don't think it's right for Bill. That I think each of them earned the right to be in a position where they should do what's right for us, given what they have done for this franchise. So some people might criticize me for not, extracting as much value, and I understand that, but we just try to do what we think is right for the proper values and ability to operate, and try to get people who want to come and feel that we're going to treat them fairly.
Hey, Robert.
this being such an emotional day and seeing you and Bill together and the emotions that you guys shared,
It's a celebration.
it makes you wonder,
Tommy.
do you have
You
any
have to say it in that
reservations
voice.
at all whether or not this is the right
He's taking
decision
victory lap.
in any way?
Tom.
Yeah, that's a good
It is a good
question.
question.
You know, this is a results business, and certain things in life, it's instinctual. I think both of us felt that the time was right for each of us to go off in our separate directions. But, you know, what was really, I mean, you all know Bill. You know Bill as well as I do.
Wow.
For him to say he'll always be a Patriot, and, you know, it gives us, I mean, it's great. And, you know, the last few days, since Monday, since we've been thinking about it and talking about it, I think our relationship went to a new place because, you know, this is very hard. Any of you who are in it's like a marriage, and things don't always go great, and, you know, you get through the difficult times, and it makes the relationship stronger. And I think we had a chance to do that over the last almost quarter of a century. So I think both of us felt that at this point in time, it was in our mutual interest to each go our own way. But knowing that we have that bond and foundation, that's really hard in this business to create, very hard. Anyhow.
Anyhow.
Hi, Robert. On Monday, Bill spoke about the possibility of relinquishing some of his duties in the personnel department. How much consideration did you give to retaining Bill but maybe adjusting his role?
Good question.
Yeah, we've thought about that, but, you know, I've had experience running different businesses and trying to develop a team. And think about it, when you have someone like Bill who's had control over every decision, every coach we hire, the organization reports to him on the draft, and how much money we spend or every decision has been his. And we've always supported him. To then take some of that power away and give it to someone else, accountability is important to me in every one of our companies. And where he had the responsibility and then someone else takes it, it's going to set up confusion and, you know, well, it was his pick and that was a bad pick, you know, or he didn't play him right, or, you know, it wouldn't work, in my opinion.
All right,
hey,
as
Robert.
Robert Kraft continues to talk to the media, we will monitor to see if anything is said or if any actual breaking news comes from said press conference. Not an easy decision for Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots. Obviously has had a successful last 24 years, even though recent memory, not fantastic. They've done something to the Patriots organization that hadn't been able to be done before Kraft and Belichick entered those doors. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks at Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Whenever he talked there at the end, you said exactly to something. What did he say that got you all riled up?
I was saying exactly to what you said, because that's the guy or the woman asked him, you know, the consideration of Bill relinquishing some GM duties, which they talked about, or at least it was reported they talked about, and exactly what you said about the whole situation, like not just Bill relinquishing the GM, but more so like it's been 24 years of the same thing. So for that to change going into year 25.
Just hit a reset button 24 years in. That's easy.
In the same building.
That's easy.
I think it makes more sense now thinking about it like that versus thinking about like, hey, Belichick's gone. Is like Bill wants to continue to do what he's always done for 24 years. And the fact that he entertained the idea of changing that just a little was something, but Bob Kraft saying like that's not right for Bill or for the Patriots. Like it shouldn't happen. There's too much respect for what Bill is as a GM and a coach just to be like, okay, we're going to take away half of what you've done. It just doesn't make any sense, and that's what you echoed this week and basically since this conversation
I just
started.
try to think about the humans involved in the entire thing and how you could potentially give a little something on the other side and then take a little bit there. And I like that Kraft explains that publicly. I like that he talks about how, Bill Belichick is not just like Madden general manager, Madden coach.
Exactly.
He was like, we'll just take away this role. Should up his energy because he should be able to sleep and do less work in this particular one, where he was maybe an 84, now he's a 91, and we just do that. It's like this human has to walk in there, and this human also has to see every decision that is made by a new GM.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, great. Every time.
GM disagreeing with him.
Oh, great. Yeah, how many Super Bowls have you
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, sweet.
Draft picks. Like, could you imagine if Bill loves a guy and then the GM's like, yeah, but
What if they choose a GM that isn't the one that he wants?
oh my God.
Just like the Vrabel situation down there in Tennessee, allegedly. from what we've
So
been
where he
told.
goes, does he have to be, or is it okay because it's a different organization?
Yeah, I think it's a reset. This is how it's always been. Like, you just think about human
There's a lot of
instinct.
decisions, though.